Hello everyone, back to show my recent pickups. So yeah, I think I did a pickups video about 2 weeks ago where I used to do them once a month and go on for 40 minutes and have a load to show. I'd usually be sort of talking about them first half, and then I'd look at the time and then I'd have to sort of rush through the second half and not give them as much time to sort of speak about them. So yeah, I'll try and pace it a bit better, and yeah, I haven't got as many this time, so hopefully it won't go on too long. Right, don't need to waffle anymore. No prelude. I'll just get on talking about them. So, yeah, you got Lifeforce. So yeah, got this one straight from Arrow Video. Came about 5 days or so early. Bit of a story with this one. I think I sort of said on WhatsApp groups, but yeah, I was sat recording a video at the time. I can't remember what it was. I think it was showing the Blu-ray collection or something. And I had a message saying it had been delivered. I'd obviously heard no knock at the door. So when I looked on the tracking, the postie had dumped it in a recycling bin nowhere near my house. I thought it was lost. Started sort of ringing them up, complaining. Then messaged Arrow saying it's gone missing. But here's the reference I've been given from the complaint. Said they'd email me. Let Arrow know it had turned up. But yeah, 5 days ago, still heard nothing from Royal Mail and ignored me before about a package that had gone missing. So quite bad customer service, really. But yeah, basically the guy lives a few streets away, I think. I'm not sure, he didn't say where. But yeah, came, knocked on the door 7 at night or so after I'd done the video and gave it to me. I think he did say sorry. His kid had opened the box and looked at it. Obviously, this was still all intact. But I thought, yeah, luckily he didn't open and look inside, because I think there's pictures of a naked lady, and I'm guessing it was like a young kid he had. Yeah, it's the 4K. I do need to sort of flip this sleeve around, but yeah, I'm sure everybody knows Stuart George's favourite, Toby Hooper. Probably one of the most entertaining. I still say Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the more important film. But yeah, sci-fi film. Kind of got horror elements, but yeah, predominantly sci-fi. Starring Steve Railsback, Peter Firth, Frank Finlay, Nicholas Ball, and introducing Matilda May, who's basically naked through the whole thing. I'm sure some people will enjoy that. Yeah, it's basically vampires in space. But yeah, really good special effects. Some of the scenes when they're in space and that really reminded me of Alien. What year was this? 1985, so what, 8 years? I think Alien was 77. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I was really impressed by this one. I did have it on DVD. I think I watched it years ago, talking like 15 years, but couldn't really remember it. So yeah, I can't tell you how much better this is. The upgrade, like I said, before, there is a Arrow Video Blu-ray of it, and then I got this one. Yeah, I was impressed by that one. Really enjoyable film. Possum. So I did show this in the collection overview before. I think it was, well, yeah, in part 2. I'm guessing it starts with P. So yeah, I spoke about this. So I won't go into it too much. But yeah, directed by Matthew Holness, who does Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. It was like a dark TV series. I think it had Richard Ayoade, Julian Barrett. He's also done The Snipist, not heard of, and A Gun for George, short film that's on here, about 20 minutes long, I think it is. 18 minutes, actually, I'm looking at it. Starring Sean Harris and Alan Armstrong. Yeah, obviously Alan Armstrong, it says, was in Kroll, The Duelist, Sleepy Hollow, like I've said before. Pretty sure The Duelist is Ridley Scott's first film before he did Alien. Sean Harris, saying on here, for Mission Impossible, Fallout, and Prometheus. But yeah, I know him as a bit more of a sort of character actor. Pretty sure he's in Absentia by Mike Flanagan. Yeah, like I said before, really sort of gritty, depressing, dark film. Well made, quite slow paced, but doesn't get boring. And yeah, I've also said the house they live in is just absolutely disgusting. But yeah, really grimy kind of film with quite a sort of nasty twist in it. Orca the Killer Whale. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. One of my sort of watches of the week when I watched it. Directed by Michael Anderson, music by Ennio Morricone, starring Richard Harris, Charlotte Rampling, easy for me to say, Will Sampson and Bo Derek. Yeah, really good training, it seemed, on the Orca, where I think I said on the live stream, but when the Orca's attacking people, obviously I guess it's practical effects, mechanical kind of Orca, but yeah, it seemed like they had a real Orca, well trained, that was in the water with the actors and things. Good relationships and sort of character development, especially the character arc of Richard Harris. Not really a spoiler to say, but obviously he starts off as a sort of hunter fisherman, got no respect really for a lot of creatures. Then once he realizes the intelligence of the Orca, he sort of changes throughout the film. 1977, I think it was before Jaws. But yeah, really enjoyed this one. One of the best sort of creature features I've seen, or at least with real creatures. You know, there's a lot out there like Gremlins, The Thing, which obviously aren't real creatures. Whereas, yeah, this, Alligator, and Jaws, sort of three of my favourite real life. Obviously, I think I've said before about Razorback Cujo, not to forget, brilliant film. What are we on to next? American History X. So this is an upgrade, so I've had it on DVD. I think I watched it on TV, first of all, years ago. Really blew me away. Really powerful, emotional film with that one horrible scene, well, a few horrible scenes of violence, especially the racism being committed by them. They're kind of white supremacists. Scene in prison, kind of dropping the soap kind of thing is what I'm going to say, so people don't get offended or won't get flagged. Edward Norton and Ed Furlong, probably the best performance I've seen by Edward Norton. It's good in Red Dragon. What else is he in? I think he was in the Hulk film, which I can't say I've seen. Edward Furlong, yeah, probably the best thing I've seen him in. Obviously known from Terminator 2 and Brain Scan, which I would say is an underrated horror film if people haven't seen that. About the trickster, it's kind of like a creature that comes out of computer games. But anyway, back to American History X. So yeah, the main scene really gets to a lot of people, made this infamous, is the curb scene, is all I'm going to say without going into too much detail on it. It's got a good supporting cast. It's got, let's see, it was directed by Tony Kaye. Have seen something else. Yeah, I think I showed something else by him recently. I said I knew his name, but I couldn't remember what he'd done. So tell me the actors. No, not really. I think it's got Fairuza Balk in it, who played Dorothy in Return to Oz. And it's got, I can't remember his name, but he played Randy in My Name is Earl, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, really poignant, powerful, well-made film. One thing I liked is when it goes back to the flashback scenes, it always shows it in black and white, so it's quite easy to distinguish between what's modern day and what's flashbacks. But yeah, really good character arc. Without spoiling it, the guy sort of starts with a really racist mindset, and then by the end of the film, obviously you're going to know he goes to prison, as I mentioned about the sort of dropping the soap scene. He, let's say, meets people in prison who sort of change his views on the people he originally hates. Really gut punch ending with sort of a bit of a twist. Yeah, gonna watch this one again because I haven't seen it for years. Like I say, I've upgraded it from DVD onto Blu-ray. I think it was only like £5 in CEX. Personal shopper. Oh, let me get it about Glare. So Kirsten Stewart. So yeah, obviously I've never seen the Twilight films, but I remember when they came out, a lot of people I knew hated on them, and I wasn't kind of into shiny vampires. I like the kind of darker vampire films, you know, Salem's Lot. What's it called? I always forget the one by Catherine Bigelow. And then Nightbreed. No, not Nightbreed. I know these films. I literally saying this yesterday, and I have a mental blank when I go recording things. What's the one? I'll try to remember it in a minute, but yeah, obviously she was in this, same as Robert Pattinson. I think it was Taylor Lautner, is he called, was in Twilight. So yeah, I kind of writ them off as actors and thought, you know, if they're in that crap, they're probably not good actors. But especially Robert Pattinson really sort of pushed his boundaries and went into films you wouldn't imagine him being in, like Metropolis with David Cronenberg directed, and what's the one I seen the other day? The Lighthouse, which yeah is a really kind of arty film by Robert Eggers with him and Willem Dafoe. So fair play to him. And the same with Kirsten Stewart. Seen a few things with her in since, like Underwater, I really enjoyed, and yeah, heard quite good things about this. Yeah, not watched it yet. I think it's only about £3 in CX. I think I picked it up in the one in Bath. 105 minutes. Directed. Doesn't seem to. Oh, Oliver Assayas does Clouds of Sils Maria. Can't say I've really heard of him. Yeah, gonna give this one a watch. But yeah, heard quite good things. Looks interesting. Yeah, let you know probably on my next recent watches video. Berberian Sound Studio. So it's directed by Peter Strickland, that did In Fabric, which is one I really liked. I think I did speak again about this briefly on my part one of my Blu-ray horror collection. It's an artificial eye release, starring Toby Jones, who I'm a big fan of. He's from, what's the one Roy showed the other day, a football film with him in? Oh, Can't remember what it's called. Comment down below. Tell me on the back. Don't think so. Yeah, so I heard it also stars Toby Jones, Cosimo Fusco, Antonio Mancino, Fatma Mohammed, Salvatore Licorsi, Chiara Diana, Tonio Sotrapulo. So yeah, I think it must be like a foreign film. I mean, it says it was Fright Fest winner, best film, best director, and best actor. Came out in 2012. Yeah, I remember seeing this a while ago when it's on DVD and things. Was interested but never picked it up. Hadn't seen it about for a while, and then yeah, got this one in CEX. Seems to be quite a bit of a harder one to pick up. So yeah, I think Roy Barrett from Blue Roy Movies had seen this and said he kind of found it. What did he say about it? Not confusing, but didn't really get it. And a few people I've spoke to have said that. Whereas Vida, was it Vida VHS Forever? Or TV Nash, one of them said that they really enjoyed it and it had a kind of giallo kind of feel to it. So yeah, looking forward to getting around to this. But yeah, if it's by Peter Strickland, then I'm imagining it's a very weird film. Let me know if you've seen this, what you think of Berberian Sound Studio. Got Assault on Precinct 13 by John Carpenter. Won't get it all out. I think I showed this on the live stream. But yeah, nice special edition. Been long out of print, so I was happy to pick that one up in CX again in Bath, I think, for I think it was £28. Also comes with a soundtrack, which I find is quite rare. But yeah, I've not got too many film scores, should I say. I always get soundtrack and score mixed up. Obviously, score is what the composer scores the film with music, and then soundtrack is when it sort of features already existing songs, I guess. Yeah, I have seen this years ago. I'm talking, 20 years ago. One of the first John Carpenter films I've seen. I think there is a remake as well, which is meant to be quite good. Yeah, I can't remember it too much. I remember enjoying it, and obviously it's a bit of a siege film in a police station. I read the little blurb on the back. So, an LA gang's revenge-fueled killing spree leads them to a half-abandoned police station in the throes of closing down. Under siege with power and phone lines cut, a lone cop and his skeleton staff enlist the help of a death row prisoner in a desperate battle to survive the night. As the gang close in, the tension escalates to boiling point in John Carpenter's brutal and unrelenting cult classic. I do remember there is quite a shocking scene in this. I think something happens to a kid. So tell me who's in it. Just says starring Austin Stoker, Darwin Joston, and Laurie Zimmer. I've really heard of those. 1976. So this must one of his earliest films. Must have been after what's it called? The sci-fi film. His first one I have spoke about it before. I talked about it in my ranking. Can't remember the name of it at the moment. Dark Star, yeah. So yeah, it must be after Dark Star. Maybe after Starman. Let me know. I think it's been slightly after Halloween. I'm not sure on the dates, but yeah, gonna get round to watching this again. As like I say, can't remember it too much. Let me know if you've seen the remake and what you think of it. Assuming it probably isn't better than the John Carpenter version. Pretty sure John Carpenter does the score for that himself, as he does in a lot of films. Another upgrade, so Salem's Lot. So yeah, I've always had this on DVD. The DVD I had actually has 2 discs in. There's obviously it's Blu-ray where they can contain more data. It's only on 1 disc. Probably my favourite made-for-TV film ever, closely followed by Dark Night of the Scarecrow. 3 hours long, but watched this a couple of times, doesn't feel that. I think I've said before, it's either Ralphie or Danny Glick, the bit when he's sort of floating and he's tapping on the window of his nails. Really creepy. One of the most atmospheric scenes I've seen. Obviously directed by Tobe Hooper. Oh, so when I was talking about favourite Tobe Hooper films, actually maybe this is up there as my favourite. Based on a book by Stephen King. The novel by Stephen King, one of Stephen King's best books. Really creepy book. And yeah, the Marston House, is it called? Pretty sure. Really becomes a character in it, the way it's just looming over the whole sort of town and everybody's sort of scared of it. It's just an evil presence, and yeah, it really comes across well in the book and in the film. It doesn't feel like a made-for-TV film. It feels big budget and really well done. Starring David Soul, James Mason, Lance Kerwin, Bonnie Bedelia, Lou Ayres. Tell me who does the music. Doesn't seem to say there. Yeah, I think the main, you can probably see him on the back. Mr. Straker, is he called? The main vampire in it. I think he's very influenced by Nosferatu, but he does kind of probably look a bit creepier. Yeah, I haven't seen this in about 5 years. Gonna have to go back and watch it again. But yeah, always one I've enjoyed a lot. So probably be on the next recent watches video. I'll show these next two together just because they were 2 for 15 in HMV. So Soldier Blue. Heard good things about this. Heard it's got some really brutal scenes in it, which obviously it is based on the what do they call it? The Massacre, controversial Nelson, Sand Creek Massacre. So the American military army, whatever they were called at the time, did massacre a load of Native Americans, Cheyenne Native Americans. So yeah, good that it's sort of historically accurate. Some of these try and skimp on the reality and sort of sugarcoat it, whereas no, I think atrocities that have happened in history, when they're showed in film, should really be shown, should I say, as brutally as possible, just maybe ward people off ever making these same mistakes again. As they say, you can learn from history. Heard, like I say, it's got some very strong violence and sexual violence, it says there on the back. I know Jodie spoke about this. I'm pretty sure Stuart, George spoke about it, and I think Roy Barrett has got it and watched it. Studio Canal. Comes with like postcards and things inside. It's directed by Ralph Nelson, starring Candice Bergen, as you say it, Peter Strauss, who I've heard of, Donald Pleasance, one of my favourites, John Anderson, Dana Elcar, from the novel Arrow in the Sun. Oh, I didn't know that. I might have to try and pick up the novel, because I've heard the novel's quite controversial. Yeah, what year was this? 1970. But yeah, it's known as like a controversial film. Obviously never seen this, but yeah, heard really good things, so looking forward to that. But yeah, main reason I kind of picked that up, although I have been interested in it, is I had my eye on this one, which was in the 2 for 15, so I had to find something to pair it with. But yeah, this has been recommended by Roy Barrett. I think on the second live stream, Ollie was speaking about Ealing comedies. It looks really interesting. It's from 1955. So yeah, probably one of the older films I own, other than the original Nosferatu, which is probably 100 years old now. I think it tells me the cast, so I'll quickly read this out to you. The stunning new restoration of 1955 Ealing comedy The Ladykillers, and the first from the original three-strip Technicolor negative, showcases Alexander McKendrick's vision in its full glory. Considered by many as the finest British comedy ever made, The Ladykillers follows the hilarious capers of a group of small-time crooks taken on more than they can handle in the form of their sweet elderly landlord, Mrs. Wilberforce, BAFTA award-winning actress Katie Johnson, How to Murder a Rich Uncle she was from. The criminal gang, posing as a string quartet, are unprepared for their landlord's meddling when one of the musicians' cases gets caught in a door, revealing the group's true identity. Featuring an impressive all-star lineup with the finest comedy actors of the day, Alec Guinness from Kind Hearts and Coronets, another one Roy was shouted out, Lavender Hill Mob, another one Roy likes, plays the gang's mastermind, Professor Marcus, Cecil Parker. A French mistress is Cloud, otherwise known as Major Courtney, Peter Sellers, sure everybody knows him. I'm Alright Jack, is Harry, aka Mr. Robertson. Herbert Lom from the Pink Panther is Lewis, aka Mr. Harvey. Danny Green, from A Kid for Two Farthings, plays One Round, also known as Mr. Lawson. So yeah, directed by Alexander McKendrick. But yeah, I mean, if it's saying as one of the finest British comedies ever made, my favourite British comedy is With No and I. So it'd be interesting to see if this surpasses that. But yeah, heard really good things about this. This one doesn't have the little art cards inside, but does have 2 discs. So I'm not sure if it's meant to have them, and they're missing. I wouldn't have thought so, so it doesn't say on the back. But yeah, obviously when these are usually £15, it's nice to get 2 of them for 15 in HMV. So yeah, if anybody's going shopping in HMV and you're into Studio Canal, then yeah, let you know they're 2 for 15 at the moment on a lot of decent looking titles. There was a few others I was thinking of. Big, so another upgrade. I've had this on DVD for years. I think this was £5 in CEX. I got this second hand, although in good condition. Quite a basic kind of release, but directed by Penny Marshall. Can't say I know too much else by her. Starring Tom Hanks, Elizabeth Perkins, Robert Loggia, and John Hurd. Yeah, really fun, kind of happy sort of feel. I remember watching this as a kid and I really liked it. The bit you can see there when him and the other guy, is it Robert Loggia, I'm guessing, sort of play the piano with their feet. But yeah, it's just a really heartwarming, magical kind of I say it's family, it is a 12, and without going into it too much, there is a bit of like nudity. I think in the TV, when they used to air it on TV, they always cut out a bit. Um, but yeah, I'm sure it's in this one. Let me read out the back so I don't spoil anything. I'm sure, obviously, you can guess by the title if nobody's seen this what sort of happens, the premise of the film. But Tom Hanks as a disarming 12-year-old man-child in Penny Marshall's timeless, hilarious delight. Josh wishes he was big. When he wakes up the next day, he's an adult. Now Josh must hold down a job, please a new boss, and navigate a relationship with a beautiful woman. Soon Josh wants to be a kid again, but can he? So yeah, does it show him on the back? Yeah, so that thing, I think he's called Zoltar. So Tom Hanks goes to like an amusement arcade, and it's kind of like a thing where you can put a coin in and make a wish. And yeah, he makes a wish to be an adult, and somehow it comes true, should I say? Yeah, one of my favourite Tom Hanks films, other than The Burbs and The Green Mile, Saving Private Ryan, Sleepless in Seattle. Let's not go on. There's too many Tom Hanks films. He is one of the best actors ever, in my opinion. Sure, everybody knows Big. Won't sort of bang on about it too much, but if you haven't seen Big, great film. I'm sure everybody, yeah, it's that kind of film you can watch, really cheer you up, and just, yeah, fun, feel good kind of movie. Shawshank Redemption. The Shawshank Redemption. So yeah, crazily enough, I haven't upgraded this since DVD. Not even had a Blu-ray. One of my favourite films ever. Hard to decide out of this and The Green Mile as far as Frank Darabont films go. But yeah, brilliant film. 142 minutes, but doesn't feel that long. Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman, amazing in it. Based on a book by Stephen King from the Four Seasons. So it's a short story. Sure everybody's seen this. What else can you say about it? Amazing soundtrack. Who is the soundtrack? Let me see if I can find it. Music by Thomas Newman. Supporting cast of Bob Gunton, William Sadler, Clancy Brown, Jill Bellows, and James Whitemore. Obviously directed by Frank Darabont, one of the most underrated directors ever. I think people forget he's only done 4 films, I think. So Green Mile, The Shawshank Redemption, The Mist, and The Majestic, I think it's called, that Roy and Ollie spoke about, which I don't own but definitely want to pick up. Then yeah, I think he did a series. I can't remember what it is now, but that was highly rated. But yeah, on IMDb, I think all his films have like 8 plus stars or so. Yeah, this one was basically when you purchase any film in HMV, you get this for $9.99. So obviously one I've always wanted to upgrade, and I thought, brilliant time to pick it up and only pay that much. Right, getting towards the end, I'll speed up, so we've been going on 22 minutes. The Descent, so another upgrade, owned on DVD. Probably my favourite British horror film ever, quite closely tied with Creep by Christopher Smith. But yeah, so claustrophobic. The setting in the caves just really gets to you. Genuinely a scary film. All female cast. Yeah, it is a hard watch. I mean, I've actually been caving, so once you've been caving, not only can you sort of feel the claustrophobia therein, but also puts me off going caving ever again. I won't go into it too much about what else happens, but just when they get caved in, it's probably not a spoiler to say, they're not going to go around a cave and get out in 5 minutes, or this wouldn't be a film. But just a bit when they get caved in is claustrophobic and scary enough, and then other elements are introduced that makes it a bit more of a horror. I think it would have worked with just the caving in without the other elements, but the other elements doesn't spoil it. There's one kind of twist, shocking scene. I won't say too much what happens, other than a woman, should we say, attacks the wrong person. Yeah, Neil Marshall's best film. What year was this from? Feels quite 2005. But yeah, I remember the first time I watched this, I was alone, watching it in the dark, and yeah, it was just so intense. Just really draws me in this film. Yeah, one of my favourite, probably top 5 horror films ever. Yeah, probably my favourite British horror film, I would like to say. Another premium collection. So this one was reduced to $7.49 with any purchase. So I did ask the guy at the till, I was like, is it one of these sort of, when you buy anything, you get it for the half price, or can you stack them? So yeah, he did say you can have multiple ones. Directed by, tell me, John Huston, starring Sylvester Stallone, Michael Caine, Max von Sydow, as far as the actors go, and then it's got Pele. I swear it tells me other people. Quickly see. Yeah, so the footballers in it are Pele, Bobby Moore, Osvaldo Ardiles, Co Prince, and Mike Summerby, obviously all famous footballers. Yeah, I'd heard of this before. Again, I'm pretty sure Stuart George or Roy Barrett spoke about this. They've got excellent film knowledge, great channels. Go and check them out if you haven't already. I'll try and link them down below if I remember. Yeah, it kind of seems quite a weird film out. It's like a football film. I don't know if Sylvester Stallone actually plays football in it. I can't really imagine that. He's probably more of American footballer than UK soccer, as they call it. Yeah, it's quite a original premise, really. This is no ordinary soccer match. This is war. The battlefield, a stadium in occupied Paris. The armies, German all-stars versus ragtag Allied POWs. The objective, demonstrate another proof of Aryan superiority. Guess who wins? Better yet, guess who cleverly uses the match as a means of escape? 116 minutes, but what year? 1981, so one of Stallone's early films, I think. Oh yeah, he is in a football kit, it looks like Stallone, so I'm guessing he plays football. Yeah, looking forward to getting round to this one. Yeah, good value, obviously $7.49 for the premium collection. Oh yeah, it comes with a nice poster, load of postcards. Is it reversible slip or just, yeah, just got the artwork inside of the football team. Yeah, I heard a few people speak about this, and obviously if you're into football, which I am, then I'm sure it'd be more interesting than to people that kind of hate football. The Town. So yeah, got this one, £2 in CEX. Heard about this years ago. That it's a really good film, directed by Ben Affleck. Also does Argo, which is a really good film. Starring Ben Affleck, Rebecca Hall. I think she was in Life. Yeah, I really like her. John Hamm, Jeremy Renner. Seen him in quite a few things. Blake Lively and Titus Welliver with Pete Postlethwaite and Chris Cooper. 125 minutes. But yeah, I thought for £2, and I've heard it's a good film. Really good value. Let me know if you've seen The Town. But yeah, one of my mates said the year this came out was his favourite film of the year, 2012. So time goes fast because I didn't think it was that long ago. Right, last one. So the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, 4K limited edition set, Toby Hooper film, $34.99. I got this in HMV. I was going to pre-order it, and then I kind of forgot it was out. So when I went to HMV to pick up a few other things, namely the Ladykillers and something to pair it with on the 2 for $15 Studio Canal sale, which obviously I got Soldier Blue as I showed. I looked through the Arrow thing thinking there wouldn't be anything. Wanted to get The Gift on 4K, a Sam Raimi film, but they've only ever had it on Blu-ray, and that was even out of stock. And then, yeah, I came across this and was quite surprised. So obviously when I picked the first copy up, it was the Blu-ray. And there was another one. I thought, oh no, they're not going to have the 4K. I'll have to leave it. But no, they did. Obviously, Sammy G from Sammy's World of Movies. Sammy World of Cinema. I know his name, but I always forget people's names when I'm trying to say him on YouTube. I'll link him down below. And Nikki from Skin Crawlers have both already done unboxings. Sammy's one especially has got a brilliant thumbnail. Not quite beat Stuart George. Stuart George's home movies is the king of thumbnails. But yeah, nice thumbnail. Yeah, I have seen this years ago. I had it on DVD. I can't really think of a sequel more different to the original. So obviously the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, very bleak, harrowing, depressing kind of film, gritty film, where afterwards you feel like you need a shower. This is kind of the complete opposite, like a comedy horror rom, quite silly. I can see why a lot of people wouldn't like this. It's not one of my favourites, but I do enjoy it. And yeah, it's just a really nice addition. Oh, it's got a little crease there, I've just noticed. Yeah, a really nice sort of addition. I won't get it all out too much because, like I say, Sammy and Nikki, and I'm sure other people have showed it and probably do it more justice than I will, but comes with a nice double-sided poster, comes with the 4K with art cards and stuff, and then comes with this little booklet. I think that's the original Arrow artwork, so it was on Blu-ray, and you could get a special edition, I think, as well on Blu-ray, but this kind of usurps it as the best quality version you can get. Yeah, I've not watched this one, but I will be soon. This will probably again be on my next recent watches video I've got forthcoming in a week or so. Dennis Hopper, really good in this. Pretty maniacal. Not his best role up there, but I prefer him in Blue Velvet. I'm sure everybody knows that. Brilliant performance by him in that. It's got what's his name? He was out of a lot of let's see if I can find him. Jerry Lambert. Doesn't seem to say his name. He was out of Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses. Real sort of genre actor. I think he was in some of the later ones like 31, but I never really got into a lot of those not a massive fan of the diet. What year was it? 1986. So yeah, this was what, 12 years or so after the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, some of the later sequels I do own on DVD, like Leatherface is the third one. The Beginning I don't own, but I think that's Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger. Heard it's really bad, so yeah, it's probably the best sequel. I didn't mind the Michael Bay remake, or The Beginning was it called? Haven't seen the other ones. I think there was a remake of Leatherface, and I think they've done 2 more remakes of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. One was a 3D, and then one was just called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I just really love that artwork. Really sort of pops, really colourful. Yeah, like I said, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I like kind of silly, sort of comedy, gory horror films. Contains frequent strong violence, horror, and sexualised threats. So it's quite intense. I mean, it is 101 minutes, it's saying here, yet the version I'm sending to Lewis, Big Boy Beza, see if I can quickly find it. This says it's the gruesome edition, uncut, and yet when you look on the running time, it only runs for 96 minutes. So yeah, I don't really know what the extra footage is that they've got in this 4K version. Yeah, it looks like an extra 5 minutes of footage or so. But yeah, I think this is one of the nicest editions Arrow have done so far this year. Right, I've waffled on for 31 minutes, so I'll end it there. But yeah, comment down below if you've got any opinions on any of these. Yeah, I'll try and link all the people I spoke about, or at least I'll just link everybody in the Movie Loons and the Lords of Darkness group. And then yeah, Jodie mentioned she kind of put me on the Soldier Blue, although yeah, I'm pretty sure Stuart and Roy have spoken about it before. Like I say, go and check out Sammy G and Nikki from Skincrawler's unboxings. Really interesting. And don't know when I'm going to be uploading this, but next Monday, I haven't worked out the date of what it's going to be that Monday, 24th, I guess. There'll be another live stream on Ollie Loves Films channel, featuring the Movie Loons. Maybe Marcus from X-File 2708 will be back on there. Maybe a guest. Maybe Jodie will be on there. Yeah, hopefully I haven't banged on too long and bored everybody, but at least it's not 40-50 minute epic like I've done in the past. Didn't need to have an intermission like Ben-Hur, Chariots of Fire. Right, thank you everybody for watching. I've always got to have some kind of stumbling twist of the tongue to mess up at the end of the video. So like I said, I don't edit, so I'll keep it in there. But thank you for watching. Bye.